Hey guys, lepedaler back with a quick video. Today I'm going to give you a cycling safety tip that can potentially save your life, so let's jump right into it. So as you guys can see, I'm holding a cycling helmet and the safety tip is for exactly this. This is a really quick thing that I do before every ride, and everyone watching this video can also do before they go on a ride, and that's to actually check the inside of your helmet for any cracks or any structural damage. Now you might think, well, why would I check if I didn't have a crash? And it's very simple. You know, I keep my helmets in my garage sometimes, and when I travel, I put it in my car, and it's very easy, you know, depending on what you have in your garage or your car, wherever you store your helmet or cycling equipment, you know, there's times where heavy objects can put pressure on your helmet. So unless you have it in a specific, I guess, protective carrying case, which I usually don't, but in the car easily it can get squished sometimes. So it's very simple to do. You just want to look on the inside of your helmet. Now, a lot of helmets are made out of styrofoam, so it's actually good to replace your helmets every 2 to 3 years. I'm not, you know, there's not a science exactly as to how long styrofoam lasts, but you know, after that time it starts to degrade a little bit. So I would suggest every two to 3 years to replace your helmet. So what I look for is just any cracks on the inside of the helmet, because in a crash, which I've seen helmets, you know, the styrofoam just cracks in half, and that's the brunt of the impact being absorbed by the helmet and the styrofoam. So, you know, very simple to do. All you guys are going to do is look on the inside of your helmet for any cracks or any structural damage. And once I do that, you know, it doesn't take that long. There's also padding on the inside of your helmet. So a very good thing is just to, you know, lift back the padding, because there can be a crack even where the padding is. So it doesn't take long. And that's basically it for the inside of the helmet. And then on the exterior, I like to look for the same thing and just look for, you know, feel the helmet. And it's something that you guys might think is pretty, you know, silly, because you're like, well, if I didn't crash, I don't really have to worry about this. But I've seen fellow cyclists that, and I've seen it firsthand. It's just, you know, I tell them, hey, have you checked your helmet? And you know, behold, there's a small crack in the styrofoam. So very important to do. I suggest doing this after, you know, after rides or even before rides. Honestly, just depends on when you remember, because, you know, you should do it before you ride, because that would make sense if you're going to wear the helmet for the ride. But even if you forget, as long as you try to make, you know, it a habit of checking your helmet before a ride, after a ride, it really doesn't matter. I would suggest strongly before a ride. And, you know, share this cycling safety tip with fellow cyclists, just because, you know, if everyone can protect their heads and ensure that their gear is, you know, properly, you know, granting them the ability for safety, that's a huge key thing that we should push to fellow cyclists, just to make sure that everyone's safe. So that about wraps it up for this safety tip. I hope you guys did enjoy it. So please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps with me putting out more content like this. And please comment on any other rituals or any things that you guys do in terms of safety before a ride or even after a ride regarding your cycling. You know, love to get the engagement going with you guys and start a conversation. And I plan on making more of these videos, just because it's very important that I educate you guys and future viewers of how they can protect themselves and just ensure that their cycling experience is the best that it can be. So until the next one, keep on pedaling.